Well, hey, it's a beautiful summer day to sit on the deck and enjoy some sun, listen to the birds, view off our deck. Anyway, I thought I'd record a video today. So hey guys, how's it going? It's Abel. Welcome back to another video, I guess. What's I gonna talk about today? Anyway. So, how's your summer going? Today's video, I'm going to talk about life. It's kind of an update on what's going on. So number one, I decided that I'm not going to wear any other shirts in my videos except for this one because it's my favorite shirt. So you can expect all my videos throughout the whole summer to be wearing this shirt. Or if you don't like that, well, bye. No, just well, anyway. So I've been planning on talking to you guys about my scoliosis for a while now. So this is kind of like a story time video about my health and stuff, and because I mentioned it a lot in the videos. If you guys like to hear updates based on this and stuff, let me know. If it's kind of annoying, you guys would rather just keep it to just music here on the channel, then I can do that. But I just figured that, you know, it's kind of my YouTube channel. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do. Like, anyway, with that being said, you know that I've been I mentioned in a few of my videos that beginnings of them that I might be potentially looking at surgery for my scoliosis. Well, so not anymore, but I have a lot more information about my scoliosis, and so I thought I'd talk about it because there's other people that have similar situations out there, and it might be beneficial to somebody else to discuss my health situation. From last summer, in the beginning of June, about this time of year, I was working at a fishery where I noticed my health had been rapidly declining compared to where it had been. I just could not keep up. So, I was born with congenital scoliosis, meaning I was, I guess that's kind of that goes without saying. What did they say that? Anyway, what's the word for that? Anyway, so, I was born with congenital scoliosis, which means, congenital means that it was from birth, so I guess I just repeated myself. In my cervical spine, and my mom noticed my head was kind of over to the side when I was younger, and so she took me in, and they thought I had basically a kink in my neck, because some people get a kink in the neck and they have to have it pop into place and stuff. But and there was a few other things they had discussed at that time, but I was too young to remember them. So eventually I found out I had some pretty severe scoliosis, and when I was about 2 years old, they decided to do a spinal fusion on my, because one part of my spine was fused from birth on the one side, and I have a bunch of hemivertebrae as well in my cervical spine. So they decided to fuse one side of it, and so that it wouldn't keep growing, and later take action from there based on after I had went through my growth spurt. So from that point on, when I was very young, I went to the doctor quite regularly to have checkups on my spine all the way until I was about 10 years old. About annually, I would go to Shriners there was another doctor I went to first there in Arizona before we moved to Oregon. And so they would look at my spine and look at what they could do, and the story was very repetitive, and it was every time they would look at me and they'd tell me, well, there's nothing we can really do for you at this situation. We're going to look at you later because you're not in pain, you don't have any serious disabilities from it, so it wouldn't be in the best interest to do a surgery that could potentially put me in worse pain or in a worse situation than I was already in. I was about 10, my mom discussed it with the doctor here in Oregon, and we decided to stop visiting the doctor annually because the story was always the same, and it was very, very stressful for me growing up to deal with them telling me again and again. They said freak out, they would look at all their options, they would act all frantic whenever they saw an x-ray of my spine, and then it would come down to it and they'd tell me they couldn't do anything about it. Well, they did give me a few options, one of which was going to be like being in the hospital for about 8 months in traction before doing full spinal fusion. But again, it was like the amount of traction and stuff, it was very dangerous. So they recommended I didn't go with those surgeries. After that, I didn't go back to the Shriners or any other spinal surgeon until last summer. I was dealing with a lot of pain in my back when I was working at a fishery here in Oregon. I was pretty exhausted all the time, and I didn't know what was up because I had before always been very energetic. I never struggled with exhaustion or being fatigued. So last summer we made an appointment up at Shriners in Portland, and we visited the doctor there, and he pretty much had a panic attack, and I saw my spine, and I'll put a little picture of my x-ray right up here so you can see what it looks like. And I kind of had a panic attack as well when I saw it, because my spine last time I had seen it looked nothing like that, and based on my physical body, I could only tell that it didn't look like it had changed that much. But basically, you can see as x-ray, my spine goes up and back here, and then back forward in my shoulder, and it's not in the center of my back, as you would assume. And so it's a lot worse than I look outside physically. You wouldn't guess looking at me. And so I went through a lot of stress. Finally, in August of last year, they said, well, it looks like we're going to be able to do a surgery. It'll be 8 weeks in the hospital in traction, and after 8 weeks in traction, we're going to do full spinal fusion. And I was like, what? I hadn't had a surgery since I was 2 years old, and I've been pretty much healthy and doing everything I want to do, not limited in any way. And so facing maybe a major surgery and potentially being in a lot more pain than I was already in, I was scared. It put me through a lot of stress, and I actually started being really depressed about it. Long story short, I basically went through that, being stressed and full of a bunch of anxiety all through last winter. So I finally got a second opinion of another doctor up in Portland, and that doctor, he evaluated my x-ray and my CT scan and the MRI they had me do last summer, and he said, well, you're actually pretty better off not doing a surgery, just like all the other doctors had told me when I was young. And so at that point, I was disappointed, but I was excited at the same time, because on one hand, I was very happy I wasn't having to go through a surgery, because it had been very stressful for me to think about being discommissioned for 3 months or something, while I had to lay in bed all the time waiting to recover. And another thing that the doctor mentioned this spring is he said, well, you've grown up this way, and although it looks disturbing that you're not normal, it's not like your spine is curving more. Not like it's getting worse. It's that I have grown up that way. So my spine shouldn't change much from where it was at. I hope this is making sense, because if it's not making sense, this is all over the place. At that point, after I breathed a sigh of relief knowing I wasn't going to go through surgery, but then we got to go back to the square A, where I was like, but why am I'm so exhausted I can barely keep up with life anymore, and the job that I'm working now has been part-time, and I'm just always tired. It's like, you know something's wrong when you're working 3 days a week, 8-hour shifts, and you can't seem to recover all week long. Finally, I went to my local doctor to try and figure out maybe there's something else that was going on besides my spine. I asked my doctor if they could do some tests or whatever. They decided to do some blood tests, which I had already been dealing with some things that should have clued them in a long time before that, instead of them sending me to the spine doctors and stuff about trying to look into getting more opinions on my spine. They should have clued in them. So when they tested my blood, they found out I was actually severely anemic. My hemoglobin was at 6.8, and that would explain all the exhaustion. This whole spring, the reason why I've been kind of absent on social media as a whole is because I've been dealing with a lot of fatigue because of the anemia. But thankfully, at least I know what's going on now, and they're still trying to figure out the cause of the anemia. They thought it could be an ulcer or something, but they wrote that out. So now it could be something in my small intestine. You know, I don't want to talk about it too much. That's where I'm at in life right now. What's up with my scoliosis, and it's kind of an update on my health. The fact is, I'm alive, and I'm just praying they can figure out what's causing this anemia, and hopefully I can get back up to full function by the end of the summer and get stuff done again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Not that you would really enjoy this video, but I guess it's kind of a disclosure on my health issues and what's going on. And also, if you deal with scoliosis, and it is congenital scoliosis, you gotta know it's a lot different story than idiopathic scoliosis, where when you're born with it, and idiopathic scoliosis is where it happens in teenage years. Well, with congenital scoliosis, at least in my situation, I didn't end up with the same pain and stuff that I would deal with idiopathic scoliosis, because my body's grown around my spine instead of being my spine is moving in my body. You know what I mean? So I kind of want this to encourage people that do deal with scoliosis and have dealt with health issues like this, because you're not the only one out there, and it's like you walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil. It's been a stressful year for me, I can say that for sure, and I've pretty much been one of the hardest years I've dealt with in a long time. I'm thankful that I'm alive and that I'm doing better than I was, far better, because they got some more blood in my body. It's still really low, I'm still very anemic, but it's like, at least they know, they're starting to figure out what's wrong with me, so I'm thankful for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be making a lot more videos this summer, working on a lot of stuff. I'm actually working on a cover song right behind me that's my story about my scoliosis, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And you know, this kitty keeps repeating himself, doesn't he? Yeah, I think you already said that, Abel. Don't die, and because like that's what I decided not to do, is not die. So have a good day. God bless. Don't die.